Hey YouTube, how's it going? So, I know it has been a while, right? Why haven't I been making videos? Well, it's because I don't fucking want to, right? I'll be honest, I don't really enjoy making these videos, but hey, I know it brings value to some of you guys. So, I'm gonna do it once in a while. Anyways, let's begin. I want to talk about your first day in prison, okay? Like, I've talked about it before, but what I really want to go over is that on your first day there, you're gonna have a lot of people going up to you, right? Just getting to know you. And most likely, these people who will end up being your friends are people who are of your own kind. So if you're Asian, you're probably gonna end up being friends with other Asians. If you're white, you're probably gonna be friends with other white people. I find that most white people actually end up diversing, you know? Like, they can pretty much go into any group. Like, you look at a group of natives, right, and you see that one odd white guy there. You look at a group of Asian guys, and you see that one odd white guy there, you know? There's always that one fucking odd white guy, right? But yeah. And just because they're your own kind doesn't mean you should really chill with them, because you're gonna have, you know, people who are completely different from one another. Now, what do I mean? Well, look at it like this, okay? So, my first day there, the first Asian guy I met, his name was Tommy. You know, almost the same name as mine, Thomas, right? And, you know, I'm lucky that I met him first, because I usually just stick around the first people I meet, to be honest. You know, it makes it easier. I'm not really a big fan of getting to know people, right? It takes just too much energy and time. So I find someone I like and I fucking latch on to him like a fucking parasite, you know? I'm just kidding. But yeah. And shortly after I met Tommy, a couple of days later, I meet this other Asian guy, right? He's very tanned. I think he's Chinese or something. And he seemed like he was a cool guy. He's like, hey man, come sit with me during lunch, okay? And Tommy saw how I was talking to him, and he told me this one thing. And he's like, stay away from him. He's bad news. And I'm like, why? And he wouldn't really tell me why. He just told me to trust him and to stay away from that short Asian guy. I would tell you his name, but I honestly forgot. He had a bad habit of just doing this to me all the time, you know, like just fucking with my nose. Like, he'd always tell me, hey, Thomas, come here. And he'd just grab my nose and just pinch it. And, you know, he does that thing where, he does the fucking weird thing where he's like, oh, look at that. Your fucking, my fucking thumb is your nose. Right? I didn't really get to know how he was until later on in prison, but at first I thought he was cool. And luckily, I did not chill with him because he turned out to be affiliated with one of the native gangs. So, if I did decide to be his friend, right, and sit with him more often, I would have, you know, probably ended up in the red alerts. Who fucking knows? But, anyways, yeah. So, I hung with Tommy, I trusted him, and he introduced me to his close friend Steve, and then Steve took me in as a new fish. And what do I mean by that, right? What do I mean by new fish? Well, apparently when new people come in, there's always inmates who are nice enough to show the new guys around, teach them the ways of the prison, right? And Steve and Tommy did that for me. Some of you guys are probably gonna have people who will volunteer themselves to show you around. They're kind of like your prison mentors, right? Sometimes you may not have anyone who volunteers because, you know, well, let's just say this. Being a volunteer for new fish, it's quite a hassle, right? It's tiring. After Steve took me in, he's just like, oh my god, you know, I don't think I'm gonna do this again. So yeah, that's all I have for today. See you guys next time.